The show had its ups and had its downs. So, kind of a typical Raw episode for you. I'm also a Six Spectrum Nerd video, and today I'm reviewing Raw that just happened about 4 minutes ago, and the show was kind of there at some points, and yeah, they're setting up for SummerSlam, which looks like a pretty damn good card, but oh boy, there's some matches they put on that we are not wanting, nor we needed. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the show in the comment section below. We were in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo Dome. And yeah, again, this show was just kind of there. I mean, there was some good stuff. There was some really good stuff, in fact. Again, some of these Raw, like, when it goes to the second and third hour, it is so forgettable and so boring. Like, nothing happens. Like, I tuned out of the show, like, half of the time because I was just so bored and so uninterested. Anyways, we get a recap of the Orton, Riddle, and Styles and Omos situation. And Orton comes down and, you know, talking about how Omos is a jackass and, you know, how he beat Styles last week and how he RKO'd Riddle and he's going to RKO Omos and all that stuff. Riddle comes down and says we need to reunite, we need to be RK Bro again, but Orton keeps denying it. And he knows why Riddle knows why Orton RKO'd him. He's teaching him. He's teaching him how to do the proper RKO and make sure how to do the proper golden showers. Wait a minute. And then Styles and Omos show up. And Styles challenges Riddle, you know, because he wants to beat the crap out of him. And Riddle says he's going to use the 3 most destructive letters in all professional wrestling, RK Bro. That's 5 letters. That's 5 Riddles. 5 letters, Riddle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Riddle was kind of high during this. Anyways, we get Styles vs. Riddle. It was fine. I wasn't offended by it. It was fine. Orton leaves in the middle of the match, or in the beginning of the match. There were some good strikes, you know, good knee strikes. Riddle got the leg targeted, and then he goes to hit the floating bro, but almost causes distraction just by looking at him. And then Styles clash 1, 2, 3, and there you go. More on this later, because Orton's gonna take on Omos in a little bit. And then recap of Nicki versus Ripley. Then Nicki backstage talking about, you know, positivity and all that stuff. Look, I get what they're trying to do with Nicki and making her, you know, like miracles can happen and, you know, if you believe in yourself, you can achieve better things. Thing is, Vince got stuck in the 1990s and we're stuck doing this gimmicky bullshit that would have worked well in 95, but guess what, Vince? This ain't the new generation. Anyways, Keldon Johnson, an Olympic gold medalist, is in the crowd. Okay, cool. I didn't watch the Olympics mainly because I didn't care, but, you know, I just didn't care about the Olympics. Though, people like to give Simone Biles a lot of shit. You realize that she went through a lot of shit in her life, guys, and, you know, that her aunt passed away, and I don't blame her for having a mental breakdown in front of a crowd. So, yeah, for any of you guys, you know, giving Simone Biles a lot of shit, listen up, ass muffin. The woman has mild autism and was sexually abused around 2013, or I think when she was 13 at the time. And yeah, let's make fun of her because she has issues. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that shit kind of offended me a little bit whenever people were making fun of her for it, especially when Max Caster said that. But anyways, I'm gonna get that off my soapbox there, and let's move on to the wrestling because that's what we're here for. So while I pissed off a lot of people in the comment section, I'm probably getting subscribed. Anyways, we get a recap of Styles and Riddle that literally happened 10 minutes ago. Riddle is sad. Oh, the sad stoner. Then we Rhea versus Nicki. It's a rematch from last week. It was fine. It was kind of rushed, especially towards the ending, where, you know, where there was a nice crossbody on the outside, and then Ripley hits a big boot, and then a riptide, and then it's over. Again, ending was kind of rushed, and then, you know, Flair's kind of making fun of Nicki, and Nicki attacks Flair, and then so does Rhea, and we're going to have a tag match later. And then we get a recap of Drew versus Corbin, and Mahal and Co are backstage. Mahal says he's the greatest WWE champion of all time. In your own world, gender. Drew comes down. The MVP is backstage. He's talking to like a backstage associate, talking about chicken breast or something like that, and that made me hungry. And then, you know, MVP says, you know, just be ready for tonight, because Goldberg and Lashley are going to be having a face-to-face. Alright, Drew versus Veer and Shanky. If Drew wins, Veer and Shanky are barred from ringside. If Drew loses, he can't bring his lengthy Angela. Drew wins, to the shock of no one. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, Shanky is not good. Veer is okay, and McIntyre is McIntyre. It's just, yeah, we're going to get McIntyre versus Mahal, because that'll put butts in seats. And Drew says he's going to embarrass Mahal and humiliate him. And I thought we were going to get a Punjabi prison match with the way that we're going, and thank God we didn't. And Drew says he's going to kick, you know, Mahal's head off his shoulders. He's going to kick the head out of his head. And then Flair, Sonya, and Pierce are backstage. They're going to have it, and they're going to say that Flair needs to find a partner, and they're going to have a tag match later. Morrison comes out for Moist TV. So many moist aneurysms. Or not aneurysms. So many words that have moist in it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of my subscribers got uncomfortable and cringed. Who was this for? It basically came down to, why did Miz lie about, you know, was Miz using Morrison to, you know, be his lackey and all that stuff. That's basically what this was, but it took ages to get there. And then Priest comes down and says, Miz, we all know you used Morrison and all that stuff. Morrison says, how about Miz and Priest have a match for like the 18th time? And then Priest shoves Miz into a bunch of rubber duckies. Funny. This is comedy, apparently. Miz versus Priest. Again, for the 18th time. Sheamus comes down and joins commentary. Miz wants Jordan Morrison's lengthy dripstick. Man, when you don't give your best friend his dripstick, you aren't real friends. Don't ask me how I know those things. And then Morrison leaves. And then Miz gets hit with the bro kick. 1, 2, 3. And Sheamus says that I'm going to beat you at SummerSlam, essentially. I don't know. Sheamus was kind of rambling, and it was a bit weird. And then we get a recap of Piper versus Alexa when the doll winked. The doll winked. Again, this is ruining Piper Niven's career. And then Eva and Piper are backstage. She wants Piper to go get the doll. Alexa's backstage saying, well, we'll see about that. More on that in a little bit. And then Miz and Morrison are backstage saying, you know, Morrison, I didn't mean to. Let's forget about all that stuff. And New Day are in the background. They have a new shirt, apparently. I don't know what this was for. I thought they were going to attack Miz and Morrison. They were going to have a match later, but it turns out it wasn't. So, yeah. I guess I don't know what they're going to do next with Miz and Morrison. I think Morrison's going to turn on Miz and all that stuff. And I thought they were going to set up a match at SummerSlam, but they're probably going to have it on a random Raw. Then we get Alexa's Playground. I want to clarify something. I don't hate Alexa as the person. She's been through a lot of shit. She lost Bray and she lost Strowman, two people that meant a lot to her. She lost her pet pig. Rest in peace, the great Larry Steve. I don't care about this character. She's not that great of a wrestler. She's a pretty damn good talker. She's not that great of a character. This character benefits no one. They do supernatural bullshit with her. Okay, It worked in the 90s with Kane and The Undertaker because they used special and practical effects. They use CGI. There's a difference. Take for example, John Carpenter's 1982 masterpiece, The Thing. They used practical effects, and it was one of the best movies. Yes, it bombed in the box office, but it turned out to be one of the greatest pieces of film ever put on the cinema. 2011, when they did the prequel or the remake or whatever the hell that was, they used garbage-ass CGI. Again, another example, not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. They used great special effects for Freddy. And the remake, they used garbage-ass CGI. CGI does not make anything better. Just because it has better technology doesn't make it a better film. Bad. This is terrible. Use practical effects. Don't restore to computerized bullshit. Or else we're going to be turning into robots in the year 2074 or whatever the hell. I don't know. I don't know what I'm on about. Stop using CGI and use practical effects. Whew. I better calm down before I give myself a pounding headache and an aneurysm. So, Piper grabs the doll, looks at it, and it gives it back to Alexa. Okay, this is just ruining Piper Niven's career before he even got a proper start in the main roster. Well, they did give her the name Dewdrop, because please do drop this stupid-ass retarded name. Whew. Lord have mercy. We're going to recap of T-Bar versus Ali. Mace versus Mansoor. It goes on for like 3 minutes. Mace basically just destroyed him. And then Ali hits Dio. Their name is Dio and Dijak, by the way. And roll up 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is the feud for main event we never knew we wanted on Monday Night Raw. Cool. Please indulge us more. Alright, then we get Almost and Styles backstage. Almost talks. Please don't let him talk. He's not that good. He's still learning. Almost versus Orton. Can Orton RKO the Giant? Not really. Almost just throws him around like a ragdoll. And then Styles causes a DQ. Orton gets thrown over the barricade, and a Riddle comes down, and fights off Almost and Styles, and Orton says, "You've earned my respect." And RK Bro is reunited. Okay, cool. And they're going to challenge for the tag titles. Cool. Can't wait to have our makeshift tag team with the tag titles again. Oh boy, I'm just going to roll right through this. Wait, where am I at? Okay, here we are. We're going to recap a Cross versus Hardy for the trilogy we never knew we wanted. Jeez, this is like one of the most unsatisfying and one of the most unnecessary trilogy we ever got. It's like those 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, except this is way better than whatever the piece of shit tripe that was. I'm pretty sure I just pissed off a few subscribers, but guess what? That trilogy was ass and no one's willing to admit it but myself and a lot of other people watching. So Hardy says he's not afraid to take, he lives in danger. Well, we all know that, Jeff. I mean, for God's sakes, you took a spill onto the floor when you got hit in the head with a cowbell and you frickin' landed on steel steps in 2015. Jesus Christ, give your body a break. And then he says Cross's 15 seconds of fame are going to go up before it even started. Cross attacks Hardy. Hardy versus Cross, it goes for like 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then Cross hits the cross jacket and chokes out Hardy. Cool. We're just going to move right on along with this. Piper and Eva backstage. And Piper's shaking and all that stuff. God damn, Piper looks great tonight. A little too much makeup, though. Slow down on the makeup there, honey. And then Eva says it's like a slap to the face and slaps Piper, and Piper looked like she wanted to cry and I wanted to give her a hug. Seriously, she looked like she was about to cry. And if she walloped Eva, that would have been justified, because Eva does not belong on a wrestling program. Also, we're going to get Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie at SummerSlam, because that will pull butts in seats. That will really put butts in seats. Oh my hell. Don't worry, I'll be doing my SummerSlam predictions after SmackDown, and I will do my NXT TakeOver 36 predictions as well. But sweet Christ, why do we need this match? 24 shenanigans. Okay, cool. I mean, Reggie's got good, he's got a good background in gymnastics. How does he not puke after doing those moves? I don't know how. Then Elias with the Tombstone, 2017 to 2021. What are they going to do with this? Is it going to be a new gimmick, or is Elias leaving? I don't know. I am curious to see what is going to happen next. Ripley and Nicki versus Flair and a mystery partner. It's Nia Jax. And Nia Jax with Wanda Sykes' hair that has more personality than her. Nia looked bored and somewhat stressed. I don't know what's been going on with her. I don't like Nia Jax. Not the person. She's a terrible wrestler. Thanks, Dwayne. Does she look okay? I don't know. She just seemed a bit off. Anyways, it goes on for a little bit, and Jax looks like she's about to hit the bonsai drop, which Rikishi would have been spitting in his grave, and certainly Yokozuna. But Flair tags in and hits the natural selection and pins Rhea Ripley. Okay, cool. Moving on. Go on the Styles backstage. He says that him and Omos are gonna, take care of Riddle, and Orton's gonna hate Riddle in those next 5 days. Then Goldberg comes down. His son Gage is in the crowd, and then Lashley comes down. He says that Goldberg's too old and he's gonna beat him. Goldberg says that's bullshit, and then hits a very weak looking spear on Lashley. And then him and Gage jolly on the way home, until the credits roll, and that's what I have to say about this episode. Look, this show wasn't terrible, but it could have been a lot better. I'll be doing my SummerSlam predictions, maybe after SmackDown, but hopefully before the show, and I will be doing my NXT TakeOver 36 predictions. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys thought about the show. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Join the herd. I'll talk to you next video. Peace out.